Let's bring some clarity to your business with these 5 questions. Check it out. Fam, what's up? Welcome back to the Less Business, More Profit series. Lean, effective, strategic, and simple business is the name of the game, right? So Business 101. It's a very long subtitle for the series, but I kind of like it, right? So we're rolling with it. One of the biggest things, right, as we get going in business is to remain, or actually to put a finger on that level of clarity that we need to have as entrepreneurs in order to perform, right? So I like going back from time to time to these 5 questions just to make sure that I'm on the right path, right? It's almost like a self-check. You know how if you're in the process of personal growth, you're always checking yourself. You're always asking yourself these awareness questions. This is the same thing. It just goes hand in hand with your business, right? So real quick, before I jump into those, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and share. If you know somebody who might benefit from all the content that I put out there for you guys on a regular basis, do me a favor and send them the link, share the video. All right, with that being said, question number one, I'm going to be super objective on this. But question number 1 is, where are you going? All right, ask yourself mid-year, where are you going with your business? Where are you going to be at in 3 years? Okay, so think about the way that the business is going to look. Think about the number of employees that you're going to have. Think about locations that you may have to tap into, right? Where are you going with the business? What do you want out of the business itself on your personal side of things? Okay, what do you want as an entrepreneur? Do you want to be working in the business, for 5 hours a day? Do you want to be working 40 hours a week still in a period of 3 years? What does that look like, right? So ask yourself, what do you want from the business? It's crazy, but the amount of ideas that start flowing once you put questions on the table, right, and you start journaling about those and really become honest with you, it forces you just to see the business from a different standpoint, right? So basically what we're doing is we're stepping outside of the regular, grind to really take a 50,000 foot view of where we are in the business and more importantly, where we want to be, right? So ask yourself, what do I want to be in 3 years? And what do I want out of this business? Now, think about your personal life, think about relationships, think about financials, right? Where do you want to be there? And this question alone is going to take you a good chunk of time. Question number 2, what's your market? Okay, what's a specific market that you're tapping into? We have 3 different levels. So if you say, well, I want to hit, I have a product that it's razors for guys and I'm going to hit all the guys in the world. All right, so that doesn't work. All right, then that's a very rough example, but it doesn't work. You have to really dial in what your market is. So start with the industry, start with the generalized market, then you're gonna have a sub-market underneath that. And then underneath that, you're gonna have a niche, okay? So go back and revisit your market. Every single year, go back and revisit. Ask yourself, am I still pertinent? Am I still relevant to the type of people that I'm marketing out to? I'll give you an example. If your market is wealth, right? So you have wealth as a main market, then the sub-market is gonna be investments, right? So investments within wealth. And then the niche below that can be something else. It can be fix and flip. It can be, in my case, for example, I do a lot of wholesale. So it's wholesale real estate investments, right? So my main market is wealth. My sub-market is investments. And then I have real estate wholesaling as a niche, right? So it's dialed in. If you change your products on a regular basis, maybe you took a pivot during the year for some reason. I know a lot of businesses did that, like for example, through COVID, right? You have to go back and reassess whether or not you're hitting your right avatar and your marketing is still relevant to the people that you're trying to impact, right? So question number 2, what is my market? Question number 3 is, what do I want to celebrate this year? At the end of the year, after all my efforts, what do I want to be celebrating this time next year? Do I want to celebrate a $3 million a year revenue? If that's the case, you're going to ask yourself, what does it take for me to get there? How many employees do I need to have, right? What are the actions and the type of activity that I need to implement to get to that $3 million mark? But what do you want to celebrate? It's not just about wishful thinking here. It's really about creating a picture of where you want to be at and then brainstorming on all the activity that it's going to take for you to get there, right? So we're starting with the celebration, but the point is reverse engineering everything that's going to get you to that point. Okay, so coming back, and if this is an exercise that you're using to just kind of reassess, a lot of it is going to be done, right? It's going to be a matter of realignment as opposed to, you know, re-engineering or discovery. So question number 4, what brings you success? Currently in your business, what is bringing you success right now? So what are the most income generating activities that you're taking part of? And then ask yourself the question, future pace it, right? Ask yourself the question, what are the activities that will bring success to my business, right? So for example, right now, the stuff that brings you revenue, the stuff that's bringing you success is, you know, a very solid marketing plan. If you have a really good process when it comes to lead generation and conversion, right? Okay, what does that look like? And if I want to scale my business and grow my business, how do I, you know, multiply those efforts within the business? Okay, so future pace it and compare what brings you success right now to what will bring you success once you tap into that bigger space that you want to tap into, right? Again, these questions, the whole point of this is realignment, is to bring it back to that space where you know that you're on track and you just start doing crazy stuff and navigating away from the stuff that really brings you results. Keeping your eye on the ball is the main point here. Now, question number 5, this one's very important, okay? This one just kind of takes an overview of your entire business model and puts you on blast, really. Okay, what business development projects do you have going on? Business building stuff, right? Stuff that brings you income. How are you improving your operation? How are you improving your business as you go? A lot of times we can get into that, the trench where we start working and working and working. We do the same thing, and it's panning out, right? But the results start to diminish little by little. Okay, so how actualized are you in your current market? For example, marketing. In my industry, a lot of people used to do direct mail, and a lot of people kept that, that practice for a long, long time, but the results were here, and then they started diminishing. There was no business development projects going on. There was no, R&D, research and development for new marketing strategies for a lot of these companies, and they started spending a lot of money when the return on investment was dropping. So staying relevant is important, right? Not necessarily even innovating, just tapping into stuff that's out there and understanding that you have to stay relevant. You have to stay consistent with business building activities, okay? Because that keeps you sharp in the industry, right? So you have to stay relevant. You have to stay in the know of what's working in order for you to operate at a lean level and really keep, that return on investment high. Now, on the other side of that coin, ask yourself, what are you procrastinating on, okay? You have some business development projects that you may want to be, that you may want to tackle, but you're pushing them. Why? Is it because it's something that you haven't tapped into and you just don't understand how it goes? Come back and revisit it. Is it something vital that may, coast you through the next 3 years and actually create a level of success? Because we see that all the time. Sometimes we have economic adjustments, right? Companies that stay relevant, or the people that stay relevant, and they're aware of the stuff that they're procrastinating. They're aware of the stuff that should be, being implemented, and they actually come in and then take those actions are the ones that make it over, right? So I love these 5 questions. I try to come back and revisit them, a couple of times a year. If I'm getting bogged down in my business, it's just a good checkpoint, right? It's nothing too crazy, but it's 5 questions that will bring a lot of clarity. And more importantly, I think they're going to keep you in direction. They're going to keep you in the direction that you want to go, that you know that you want to go. And then you're not just kind of floating aimlessly, all over the place. So keep that in mind. 5 questions that bring you clarity. Implement them. It's not too hard to come in and then work on that kind of stuff on a regular basis. You have to do that as an entrepreneur, right? Nobody's going to assume that responsibility for you. Nobody's going to give you the clarity of your business. That's your job. You create that clarity and then you bring it over to your team. Your team buys into it and magic shit happens, all right? Stay focused. You got this.